In the deserted halls of an abandoned school, echoes of a mysterious whisper lure an unsuspecting investigator deeper into its eerie confines. The silence is thick, punctuated only by the crunch of his footsteps on the decayed wood flooring. The air is heavy with the scent of old books and long-forgotten lessons, a haunting reminder of the life that once filled these rooms. He follows the whisper, a faint sound that seems to be both everywhere and nowhere. It leads him to a classroom, shrouded in darkness and mystery. The door creaks open, revealing a space untouched by time. Dust particles dance in the slivers of moonlight that filter through the broken window panes, illuminating the room in an otherworldly glow. In the heart of the room stands a chalkboard, its surface scarred with strange inscriptions. The writings, though faded and worn, seem to have been etched just moments ago, their cryptic messages calling out to him. They are not of any known language, yet they resonate within him, their silent words echoing the whisper that led him here. As he steps closer to decipher the inscriptions, the room shifts around him. The shadows cast by the moonlight begin to move, slithering and coiling like living entities. They reach out to him, their cold touch causing a shiver to run down his spine. The whisper grows louder, transforming into a cacophony of voices that seem to come from the inscriptions themselves. Suddenly, the room is filled with a malevolent laughter, echoing from the chalkboard. It's a sound that chills the blood in his veins, a laughter that seems to mock his fear. The shadows grow denser, swirling around him, pulling him into their dark embrace. He tries to fight them, to break free from their icy grip, but it's too late. The room plunges into eternal darkness, the laughter of the inscriptions still reverberating in the chilling silence. The investigator is gone, swallowed by the shadows, his fate sealed in the forgotten halls of the abandoned school. Classroom 13 at a local elementary school holds a sinister reputation, whispered to be cursed and feared by all. One brave student, driven by skepticism and a dash of daring, decides to investigate these chilling rumors. Her curiosity outweighs her fear as she steps into the shadowy abyss of the forbidden classroom. The echo of her footsteps is the only sound that cuts through the eerie silence. The room reeks of antiquity, a sense of a past that was trapped in the four corners of the room. She stumbles upon a collection of old photographs, their edges worn and colors faded. Faces of students from a time long past staring back at her. Each image seems to tell a tale of its own, tales of laughter, innocence, and a time when Classroom 13 wasn't a subject of whispered fears. Her eyes then drift towards the chalkboard, smudged and dusty from years of neglect. As she cleans away the grime, she discovers names etched into the surface. The names seem to whisper tales of the past, each one a silent plea echoing through the years. The chill of fear begins to seep into her, replacing the initial curiosity. She can't help but feel the weight of countless stories, each more unsettling than the last, press upon her. Suddenly, a chilling voice slices through the silence, calling her name from the shadows. The sound is as cold as ice, sending a shiver down her spine. She spins around, her heart pounding in her chest, her breath hitching in her throat. She sees nothing but the creeping shadows, their forms dancing on the walls, playing tricks on her already heightened senses. Then she feels it. A cold hand, as frigid as winter's touch, lands on her shoulder. It's a touch void of warmth, void of life. She freezes, her blood running cold, her body paralyzed by fear. The shadows seem to close in on her, the room growing darker, the air growing colder. The whispers grow louder. The names on the chalkboard seem to echo around her, the faces in the photographs staring at her with silent screams. In that moment of absolute terror, her survival instincts kick in. She tears herself away from the cold grip, fear lending her speed she didn't know she possessed. She races towards the exit, her footsteps echoing loudly in the empty classroom. She doesn't dare look back, the feeling of an evil presence trailing her, reaching out from the shadows of the dark, empty classroom. She races towards the exit, feeling an evil presence trailing her from the dark, empty classroom. An old school is haunted by the legend of a missing janitor, a tale that has chilled the hearts of students for decades. In this tale, A group of brave, or perhaps foolish students decide to delve into the mysteries of the past. Their curiosity pushes them to the edge of reason, compelling them to invoke the spirit of the janitor in a ritual shrouded in darkness. A circle of flickering candles, a chant whispered in hushed tones, and an eerie silence that wraps around them like a shroud. But instead of the janitor, they awaken something far more sinister, a force that lurks in the shadows, unseen but palpably felt, a malignant presence that makes the air grow cold and the candles flicker wildly. The janitor returns all right, but not as the benign figure from the stories. He brings with him a darkness that is almost palpable, a threatening shroud that seems to extinguish the light from their candles. Panic ensues. The students scramble, their bravado replaced with terror. They find themselves in a maze of twisted corridors, once familiar, now alien and menacing. The school transforms into a labyrinth, its corridors stretching out into endless tunnels of darkness. They run, their breaths ragged, their hearts pounding like war drums in their chests. Every shadow seems to come alive, every echo sounds like a growl. The janitor's spirit is no longer a mere spectre, but a vengeful phantom that pursues them relentlessly. His footsteps echo down the corridors, growing louder with each passing second. The students can almost feel his icy breath on their necks, his ethereal fingers reaching out for them from the shadows. The realization dawns on them, the sheer magnitude of what they've done. They've not just invoked a spirit, they've unleashed an uncontrollable force. A force that doesn't just haunt the school, but takes possession of it. The school is no longer an edifice of learning, but a playground for the malevolent spirit. Their laughter and chatter replaced by whispers of fear and screams of terror. Desperation sets in. The students try to reverse the ritual, to send the spirit back. But it's too late. The spirit has taken hold, its roots sunk deep into the very foundation of the school. The once friendly janitor is now a spectre of fear, his spirit entwined with the school, his presence a constant reminder of the terror they've brought upon themselves. Their fate is sealed, trapped in the shadows of the school, pursued by a relentless spirit. They've become a part of the legend, their story another tale to chill the hearts of future students. A tale of curiosity turned to horror, of bravery turned to fear, of a school turned into a haunted labyrinth. As they realize the uncontrollable forces they've unleashed, their fate is sealed in the shadows of the school, leaving a haunting question. What happens next?